Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation. We're going to be talking about crane safety, starting with an overview of key practices and safety measures. Over the next few slides, we'll cover important topics to help ensure everyone stays safe when working with cranes. So, let's get started. Let's begin by looking at the importance of site setup. Ensuring that the site is properly prepared is the foundation for safe lifting operations. Next, we have chain and sling condition and checking. It's crucial to regularly inspect these equipment components for wear, damage, or deformities to prevent failures during lifts. Moving on to lifting and slinging, I want to emphasize proper technique and load balance to maintain stability and safety throughout the process. When it comes to crane movement, smooth and controlled operations are key to avoiding accidents and ensuring precision. Speaking of accidents, understanding their causes helps us develop strategies to prevent them and protect everyone involved. Signaling is another critical aspect. Clear communication between the crane operator and the team helps coordinate movements and reduces risks. Then we have MCD requirements, which refer to specific safety standards and procedures that must be followed for compliant and safe lifting practices. Lastly, I want to share some learnings. Lessons we've gathered from past experiences that continually improve our safety protocols and operational efficiency. All these points connect to our overall theme. Safety and efficiency in lifting operations are achieved through careful planning, proper equipment management, clear communication, and continuous learning. When setting up a crane, it's essential that both the crane operators and signalmen thoroughly inspect the work site beforehand. This helps ensure safety and smooth operations. First, we need to look out for overhead power lines. These can pose serious hazards, so identifying and managing their proximity is crucial. Next, check the ground conditions. The ground should be stable and even to support the crane and prevent any tilting or collapsing during lifting. It's also important to observe vehicle movements around the site. Moving vehicles can interfere with crane operations or create hazards if not properly coordinated. Make sure there are no excavations nearby. Excavations can weaken the ground or cause uneven surfaces, which could compromise stability. For outriggers, ensure they are placed on even packing or plates. Proper support helps distribute the load evenly and maintains stability during lifting operations. When lifting loads, always be mindful of what's underneath. Never lift over pedestrians, mobile equipment, or office buildings. Anywhere people or structures could be at risk. Similarly, avoid lifting loads over areas where hazardous materials, like chemical storage, are present. And watch out for obstructions that could catch or interfere with the load's movement. By paying close attention to these points, we help create a safer work environment and ensure the success of our lifting operations. Let's take a closer look at power lines. These are the visible parts of our electrical distribution network that carry high-voltage electricity across long distances. They might seem simple, but they play a crucial role in delivering power from generation plants to homes and businesses. One key point to understand is that power lines are designed to handle large amounts of electrical current safely and efficiently. They're made with materials like aluminum or copper, which are excellent conductors. The towers or poles supporting these lines are engineered to keep everything insulated and secure, even in adverse weather conditions. Connecting this to our overall theme, power lines are the backbone of our electrical infrastructure. Without them, the energy produced at power plants wouldn't reach our communities, making them fundamental to our daily lives. So, while they might seem straightforward, power lines are a vital part of how we keep the lights on and our world running smoothly. Let's take a moment to look at ground conditions. This is a crucial step in any project because the type and stability of the ground directly impact how we design and execute our plans. Understanding the ground conditions helps us determine the right foundation, excavation methods, and even the equipment we should use. It's important to thoroughly assess whether the soil is stable, loose, or prone to shifting, as these factors influence safety and cost. By examining the ground conditions early on, we can identify potential challenges and address them proactively, rather than facing surprises during construction. Remember, the overall success of our project hinges on a solid understanding of what we're building on. So, always take the time to evaluate and interpret ground data carefully. This knowledge forms the foundation for everything else we do. Now, let's talk about outriggers and why it's crucial that they are on even packing. When we say even packing, we're referring to the importance of distributing the load evenly across the outriggers. This balance is key to maintaining stability during lifting operations. If the outriggers are not properly aligned or unevenly packed, it can cause the crane to become unstable, increasing the risk of tipping or accidents. So always double-check that all outriggers are set on a solid, level surface and that the load is evenly distributed. This simple step plays a big role in ensuring safe and efficient crane operation, which ties back to our overall focus on safety and proper equipment handling. Remember, even packing isn't just a detail, it's a safety essential. Let's take a look at the issue of poor ground conditions. This is a critical factor that can significantly impact the success of a project. When ground conditions are poor, it means the soil or underlying material isn't suitable for supporting structures or construction activities as expected. This can lead to a range of challenges, from instability to increased costs. Poor ground conditions might include soft soils, loose materials, or areas with high water tables, all of which can compromise safety and stability. It's important to thoroughly assess and understand these conditions early on, so we can plan accordingly. Addressing poor ground conditions often involves additional work like soil stabilization, reinforcement, or even redesigning foundations. Recognizing these issues up front helps us mitigate risks and avoid costly delays later. In the context of our overall theme, ensuring safe and efficient construction, understanding and managing ground conditions is essential. It reminds us that thorough site investigation and proactive planning are key to overcoming these kinds of challenges. When it comes to the condition of chains and wire ropes, it's crucial to perform a thorough check before every use. First, you want to verify the safe working load, or SWL, to ensure the chain can handle the load safely. It's also important to look for a tag that indicates the test date, confirming it has been inspected and approved recently. Now, focusing on chains, you should carefully inspect for stretched or cracked links, as these can severely compromise the chain's strength. Also, watch out for any unauthorized welding, which can create weak points. When it comes to shackles, the key points are checking for any signs of wear or damage. Shackles must be clearly marked with their SWL and the test date. Also, look for bent pins or distorted bows, as these are indicators that the shackle may no longer be safe to use. Remember, these checks are essential to maintaining safety and preventing accidents. Properly inspecting chains and shackles helps ensure everything remains secure and reliable during lifting operations. Let's take a closer look at steel wire rope. This type of rope is made up of multiple wires and strands that are carefully laid around a central core. In the illustration below, you can see that each strand contains 19 individual wires. These strands are then twisted around the core, and in this particular example, there are 6 strands forming the complete rope. This construction is key because it provides the strength and flexibility needed for various lifting and pulling applications. Understanding how these components come together helps us appreciate the design considerations behind the durability and performance of steel wire ropes. When inspecting wire ropes, it's crucial to check for wear and damage before each use. Wire ropes can deteriorate over time due to several factors. These include abrasion, which wears down the wires through friction, fatigue from repeated loading cycles, corrosion caused by exposure to moisture or chemicals, stretching resulting from overloading or shock loading, and mechanical damage from impacts or improper handling. During inspection, I look closely at the construction and lay of the rope, making sure it remains uniform and intact. It's important to check for any signs of stretching, which could indicate overloading. I also carefully examine the entire length of the rope for broken wires. Remember, the total number of broken wires should not exceed 10% of the total wires in the rope. Other signs to watch for include bird caging, which looks like a cage pattern forming inside the rope, kinking or core collapse, corrosion spots, or an excessive number of broken wires. These are all indicators that the wire rope might be compromised. By regularly inspecting the steel wire rope with these points in mind, we can ensure safety and prolong the life of the equipment, keeping everything running smoothly and securely. When inspecting a steel wire rope, it's crucial to look out for specific signs that indicate it should be discarded. One clear indicator is if you find a single broken wire below a metal socket, end fitting, or a machine splice. This suggests that the integrity of the rope is compromised. Next, pay attention to abrasion and core collapse. These issues weaken the rope's structure and can lead to failure if not addressed. Corrosion is another serious concern. Look for red oxide powder, loose wires, or springy wires. These are signs of severe corrosion, which can significantly reduce the rope's strength and safety. Additionally, watch out for kinks, knots, or fractures caused by bending or kinking. These deformities can create weak points that may cause the rope to break under load. Crushed or jammed strands are also problematic because they indicate internal damage that could compromise the entire rope. Finally, be alert for bird caging, which occurs when the strands bunch together in a cage-like formation. This often results from rotation at the end of the rope or a sudden shock from releasing a load. Bird caging can severely affect the rope's flexibility and strength. All these signs, broken wires, abrasion, corrosion, kinks, crushed strands, or bird caging, are critical indicators that the steel wire rope is no longer safe for use. Recognizing these issues early helps prevent accidents and ensures the safety and reliability of lifting operations. Let's talk about kinking and some of the common issues that can arise with steel wire ropes. One key point is sheave wear, which can actually cause significant damage to the wire rope itself. When the rope constantly rubs against the sheave, it wears down the strands and reduces the overall strength. Mechanical wear is another important factor. Over time, normal operation leads to gradual deterioration, making the rope more prone to failure. Then there's bird caging, which is a deformation that occurs when the strands in the rope start to open up, kind of like the feathers of a bird's cage. This indicates internal damage and can compromise the rope's integrity. All of these issues, sheave wear, mechanical wear, and bird caging, highlight the importance of regular inspections and maintenance. It's crucial to identify these problems early to prevent more serious failures. Remember, steel wire ropes are vital for safe and efficient lifting, so understanding these wear points helps us keep operations running smoothly and safely. When it comes to using and maintaining chain slings, remember that a chain sling is only as strong as its weakest link. That's a fundamental concept we need to keep in mind at all times. Before you lift anything, always check the safe working load, or SWL, and make sure the chain or sling is in good condition. This simple step can prevent accidents and equipment failure. Never lift a load heavier than the SWL of your chain. Overloading is one of the quickest ways to compromise safety. Also, inspect your chains thoroughly. Look out for links that are stretched, frozen, or don't move freely. Using a chain with damaged or stuck links can be dangerous. It's equally important not to twist, kink, or knot the chain. These actions weaken the chain and can cause it to fail unexpectedly. Also, avoid dropping a chain from a height, as impact can damage the links or create cracks you might not see immediately. When moving loads, be careful not to roll them over the chain, which can cause abrasion or stress points. And if you spot a cracked link or a link that has been spot welded outside the manufacturer's specifications, do not use that chain. These are signs of potential failure. If you're working around sharp corners or edges, always use protective padding to prevent cutting or damaging the chain. Remember, chains are not meant for towing with lifting equipment. That can cause unexpected failure and dangerous situations. By following these key points, you ensure that your lifting operations are safe, efficient, and reliable. Let's take a closer look at chains. When we talk about chains in this context, we're referring to a series of interconnected components or steps that work together. These chains are fundamental because they help us understand how different parts of a process or system are linked. The key point here is that chains emphasize the importance of each link. If one link fails, it can impact the entire chain. This highlights the need for robustness and reliability at every step. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding chains allows us to identify potential weaknesses or bottlenecks in our processes. By strengthening these links, we can improve efficiency, resilience, and overall performance. So, whether we're talking about supply chains, communication chains, or any other interconnected system, recognizing how these chains function helps us optimize and better control the outcomes. Now, let's talk about inspecting your chains and slings regularly. It's essential to check them frequently to ensure they're in good condition and safe to use. One key point is to verify that the monthly color coding is correct, as this helps quickly identify the condition and compatibility of your equipment. You should also look out for links that seem frozen together. When links are stuck or show signs of being stretched, it indicates the chain has been under excessive load or stress. This is a serious issue that needs attention. Next, examine all connection points, including pins, latches, and hooks. Look for any signs of distortion, bending, or damage, because these are clear indicators that the component might fail during use. If you spot any damage or wear, it's crucial to tag the chain immediately and take it out of service. Using damaged chains can lead to accidents or equipment failure, so safety always comes first. Remember, regular inspections and prompt action are vital parts of maintaining a safe working environment and ensuring your lifting equipment performs reliably. Let's take a closer look at the bow shackle and shackles as a whole. These are essential components in lifting and rigging applications. The bow shackle, in particular, is designed with a rounded shape that allows for multiple connections, making it very versatile. Shackles, in general, serve as connectors. They link different parts of a lifting system securely together. The key points to remember are their strength and reliability. When used correctly, shackles can handle significant loads, but it's crucial to choose the right type and size for the job. Proper inspection and maintenance are also vital to ensure safety. Connecting this to our overall theme, shackles exemplify the importance of secure, dependable connections in lifting operations. They may be small components, but their role is critical for safe and efficient lifting. So always select the appropriate shackle for your load and never compromise on safety. Let's take a closer look at shackles, specifically the D-shackle. Shackles are essential connectors used in various applications, especially when working with ropes, chains, or other rigging equipment. The D-shackle, in particular, is named for its D-shaped body, which provides a strong and reliable connection point. These shackles are designed to be both versatile and durable, making them ideal for lifting, securing loads, or even in rigging setups. The key points to remember are their shape, which offers strength and ease of use, and the fact that they can be easily opened and closed with a pin, allowing quick attachment and detachment. Understanding how shackles work and their proper application ties directly into our broader theme of safety and efficiency in lifting operations. Properly selected and maintained shackles prevent accidents and ensure the integrity of the entire rigging system. So, always check the load capacity, material quality, and condition of shackles before use to avoid any mishaps. Let's take a closer look at the concepts of hook and latch. These are fundamental ideas that help us understand how systems and components connect securely. When we talk about a hook, we're referring to a mechanism that catches or secures something in place, providing initial stability. The latch, on the other hand, acts as a locking device that ensures the connection stays firm and doesn't accidentally come apart. Together, they form a reliable way to fasten parts securely, which is essential in many engineering and design applications. By understanding how hook and latch work, we can design safer, more efficient systems that hold together under various conditions. This concept ties back to our overall theme of creating strong, dependable connections in our projects. When working with shackles, it's crucial to only use ones that have the SWL clearly marked on them. This marking is your assurance that the shackle is rated for the load you're handling. Never use a bolt and nut as a substitute for the proper shackle pin, because that can compromise safety and integrity. Also, make sure the shackle itself isn't bent, deformed, or damaged in any way, as these conditions can significantly weaken its strength. Once you've selected the right shackle, secure it properly. To prevent jamming, tighten the shackle pin finger tight first, then give it a quarter turn to release any slack. This ensures it's secure but not over-tightened. And a quick reminder, never throw shackles on the ground. Dropping them can cause damage and dirt can get into the threads, making it harder to unscrew later. Remember, using the correct, undamaged shackles and securing them properly is key to safe and efficient lifting operations. Now, let's take a look at slide 20. Here, we see that the safe workload is clearly marked on synthetic slings. This is a crucial point because it helps ensure safety during lifting operations. When you're using synthetic slings, always check the marked safe workload before lifting. It's important to respect these limits to prevent accidents or equipment failure. The markings are there for a reason. They guide us to use the slings within their designated capacity. Remember, adhering to these load limits is a key part of maintaining a safe work environment and preventing injuries. So, always take a moment to verify the safe work load on the sling before you start lifting. This simple step can make a big difference in ensuring everyone's safety on site. When inspecting synthetic slings, it's important to look for any external wear, such as rips, cuts, or tears. These can compromise the integrity of the sling and should never be ignored. Additionally, check for internal damage by feeling for any thickening of the sling material or the presence of grit and dirt inside. These are signs that the sling might be weakened from the inside out. You also want to examine the protective coating of the sling. Damage here can lead to further deterioration, especially if the coating is compromised. Keep an eye out for damage caused by high temperatures, sunlight, or chemicals. Oils, discoloration is often a clear indicator of such damage. Don't forget to inspect the label and stitching carefully. Damage to the label can make it difficult to verify the sling's specifications or test dates, and compromised stitching can reduce the sling's strength. Finally, always check the condition of the eyes, the points where the sling attaches to the load. Any damage there can be critical. And of course, verify the annual test date to ensure the sling is still within its certified period. All these points are essential to maintaining safety and ensuring the sling performs reliably during lifting operations. Now, let's talk about when you should discard a synthetic sling. First, if the label has been removed or destroyed, it's a clear sign that the sling's identification and safety information might be compromised, so it's best to get rid of it. Next, if you notice any damage to the sleeve or protective coating, that could weaken the sling's integrity and make it unsafe to use. Also, if the sling comes into contact with acid, that can cause deterioration of the material, so discard it immediately. Similarly, when a polypropylene sling touches organic solvents like paint, coal tar, or paint stripper, these substances can degrade the material, reducing its strength and reliability. Finally, if there are any visible cuts or tears on the sling, it's a definite indicator that the sling has been compromised and should not be used anymore. Remember, these guidelines are all about ensuring safety and maintaining the integrity of your lifting equipment. Always inspect your slings carefully and discard them if any of these conditions are present. When it comes to storing lifting equipment, there are some key points to keep in mind to ensure safety and longevity. First, it should be kept in a clean and dry environment, which helps prevent rust and corrosion. Proper ventilation is also essential because it reduces moisture buildup and keeps the equipment in good condition. Next, always store your lifting gear off the ground or floor. This helps avoid accidental damage and makes inspections easier. It's also important to keep the equipment away from direct sunlight, as UV rays can degrade certain materials over time. Similarly, avoid storing lifting equipment near extreme heat sources, which can weaken the metal or compromise the integrity of the equipment. Another critical point is to keep it away from people welding or cutting nearby. Sparks and heat from those activities can pose serious hazards. Finally, never store lifting equipment in the same location as chemicals like paint or solvents. These substances can cause damage or create dangerous reactions. Overall, proper storage and care are vital parts of maintaining safe lifting operations, and they directly support our goal of preventing accidents and keeping everyone safe on site. Let's talk about some critical safety rules when it comes to lifting and slinging. First, never wrap a tagline around your hand or body. It might seem like a quick fix, but it can easily cause serious injuries if the load shifts or drops. Always keep your hands and body clear of any potential pinch points. Next, never leave a suspended load unattended. Just imagine how dangerous it is if someone unknowingly walks underneath or moves the load without proper precautions. Always ensure loads are securely controlled and monitored. Also, never pass loads over people. This is a major safety risk because if something goes wrong, it could result in severe injuries or even fatalities. Always plan your lifts to keep personnel out of danger zones. Another key point is to avoid using lifting accessories for towing or pulling. These accessories are designed specifically for lifting, and using them for other purposes can compromise their integrity and safety. Additionally, never ride or climb on machines or suspended loads. This might seem tempting or convenient, but it's extremely unsafe and can lead to falls or other accidents. Be cautious around power lines, never lift near them. Contact with power lines can cause electrocution or fires. Always maintain a safe distance when working near electrical infrastructure. Lastly, always remember the golden rule too. Never stand or walk underneath a suspended load. This is a fundamental safety principle because if the load drops unexpectedly, anyone underneath could be seriously injured. In summary, whether you're lifting or slinging, these rules are about respecting the power of the equipment and prioritizing safety at all times. The rigger or signalman has a crucial role in ensuring safety and efficiency on site. Their primary responsibility is attaching and detaching the load to and from the crane, which requires careful attention to detail. They must also use the correct lifting accessories to prevent failures or accidents. Another key task is directing the safe movement of the crane and load, which involves clear, precise communication to avoid hazards. It's important that they are easily identifiable by everyone around them. Look out for the red helmet and vest with rigger or signalman written on the back. Additionally, they need to establish and maintain a lifting zone, making sure it's barricaded where necessary to keep others safe. This includes managing the lifting and slinging process, which is fundamental to safe lifting operations. Remember, the role of the rigger or signalman is vital to the overall safety and success of the lifting operation, connecting their responsibilities directly to our goal of a safe work environment. Let's talk about crane movement and safety. It's crucial to keep clear of the swing radius of the crane at all times. This means you should always be aware of the area where the crane's load could swing and potentially cause injury or damage. To help with this, make sure there are barriers in place that prevent personnel from entering this dangerous zone. These barriers act as a physical reminder and safeguard, ensuring that no one accidentally steps into the swing radius while the crane is in operation. Remember, maintaining a safe distance and controlling access around crane movement is essential for a safe work environment and the overall success of our project. Now, let's talk about an important safety rule when working with cranes. Don't stand under a suspended load. This is golden rule number 2, and it's crucial for everyone's safety. When a load is lifted and is hanging in the air, it's unstable and could fall at any moment. Standing underneath puts you at serious risk of injury or worse. So always remember, if a load is suspended, stay clear of that area entirely. It's not just about avoiding the load itself, but also being aware of the crane's movement. Crane movement can be unpredictable. Sudden swings, shifts, or even mechanical issues can cause the load to move unexpectedly. That's why maintaining a safe distance and understanding the crane's operation is essential. By following this rule, we're not only protecting ourselves but also everyone around us. Safety isn't just a guideline, it's a responsibility we all share to keep the worksite safe and accident-free. Things that can go wrong. Now, as we move forward with our project, it's important to remember that despite our best planning, there are always potential pitfalls. This slide highlights some common issues that can arise along the way. First, miscommunication is a big one. When team members aren't on the same page, it can lead to errors or duplicated efforts. Next, resource constraints, whether it's time, budget, or manpower, can seriously impact our progress. Then there's the risk of technical problems, like system failures or data loss, which can set us back unexpectedly. Another point is scope creep, where the project expands beyond its original boundaries, leading to delays and increased costs. And we can't forget about unforeseen external factors, such as market changes or regulatory shifts, that might affect our plans. Understanding these potential issues helps us to anticipate and mitigate them, keeping our project on track. It ties back to the overall theme of proactive planning and risk management, which are key to successful implementation. All right, now let's talk about some of the common pitfalls or things that can go wrong along the way. This slide is about being aware of potential issues so we can address them proactively. First, one major risk is poor communication. If team members aren't on the same page, misunderstandings can lead to delays and mistakes. That's why clear, consistent communication is so vital. Next, we have scope creep. This happens when project requirements keep expanding without proper control, which can stretch resources thin and derail timelines. Managing expectations and having a solid change control process helps keep this in check. Another point is resource availability. Sometimes, key personnel or tools might be unavailable when needed, causing bottlenecks. Planning ahead and ensuring resource flexibility can help prevent that. Finally, technical issues or unforeseen complications can arise, especially in complex projects. Being prepared with contingency plans and regular risk assessments helps us navigate these challenges smoothly. Overall, understanding what can go wrong allows us to build safeguards into our plan and stay resilient, keeping our project on track toward success. Let's talk about inadequate maintenance or inspection. This is a critical point because when maintenance isn't performed properly or inspections are skipped or overlooked, it can lead to serious safety issues. Regular and thorough inspections help us identify potential problems before they become major failures. If we neglect this step, equipment might degrade unnoticed, increasing the risk of accidents or system breakdowns. This ties into the overall theme of safety and reliability. Ensuring that all components are in good condition is essential for preventing incidents. So, consistent, proper maintenance and inspection are not just routine tasks, they are vital safeguards for the integrity of our operations. Never ride the hook. This is such a crucial concept in our industry. Essentially, it means you should avoid getting caught up in a situation that could lead to a bad outcome, especially when it's easy to see the warning signs early on. The key point here is recognizing those signs before you're fully committed. When we talk about riding the hook, we're referring to staying in a risky position or continuing down a path that's headed for trouble. It's like being on a roller coaster and holding on tight, knowing that the track might be about to turn dangerous. The most important concept is awareness. You need to be alert and attentive to the cues around you. If something doesn't feel right or if the risks start outweighing the benefits, it's time to step back. This ties into the overall theme of risk management and making smart decisions. It's about knowing when to cut your losses and avoid bigger problems down the line. Remember, the goal is to stay in control and make informed choices, never ride the hook. Now, let's take a moment to look at crane signals. These signals are essential for safe and efficient communication on the construction site. They help coordinate movements and ensure everyone is on the same page, especially when visibility is limited or noise levels are high. The key points to remember are that crane signals must be clear, consistent, and understood by everyone involved. Usually, a designated signal person is responsible for giving these signals, and they need to be trained thoroughly. Some common signals include guiding the crane operator to move the load, stop, or slow down. For example, a steady arm extended in a particular direction might mean move, while a raised hand with an open palm signals stop. It's important to always verify and confirm signals before executing any movement. This not only keeps the operation safe, but also aligns with the overall safety culture we've been discussing. Remember, effective communication through proper signals is a cornerstone of crane safety and helps prevent accidents on site. All right, let's talk about the process of connecting and communicating with the crane. When you're ready to lift, you can either wire up the load, which means attaching the rigging securely and preparing it for hoisting. Alternatively, you might say it's up on the hook, indicating that the load has already been attached and is ready to be lifted. Once everything is set, clear communication is essential. That's where crane signals come into play. These signals are the standardized hand signals or radio commands used to direct the crane operator safely and efficiently. They ensure everyone is on the same page, minimizing risks and making the lifting process smooth. Connecting these points to our overall theme, effective communication, whether through proper rigging, clear signals, or understanding the status of the load, is fundamental to safe crane operations. It keeps the operation coordinated and helps prevent accidents before they happen. All right, let's talk about the down hook and how it plays a crucial role in crane signaling. When we refer to the down hook, we're talking about the position of the crane's hook when it's lowered and ready to pick up or set down a load. This position is key for safety and efficiency on site. Next, we have crane signals, which are essential for communication between the crane operator and the signal person. Clear, standardized signals ensure everyone understands what's happening, reducing risks of accidents or missteps. Specifically, signals for the down hook involve precise gestures to guide the operator to lower or hold the load safely. These signals help coordinate movements, especially in noisy environments where verbal commands might not be heard clearly. Remember, consistent signaling is vital for smooth operations and safety. It connects back to our overall theme of effective communication and teamwork in lifting operations. By mastering these signals, we ensure that lifting activities are conducted safely, efficiently, and with minimal risk. All right, now let's talk about the next step in crane operations, jib up and crane signals. When we say jib up, we're referring to the process of raising the jib, which is the horizontal arm of the crane. This is a crucial step because it allows us to extend the crane's reach and height, enabling us to position loads more precisely. Next, we have crane signals. These are essential for safe and efficient communication between the crane operator and the signal person. Clear signals ensure that everyone is on the same page, especially when visibility is limited or when there's a lot of noise on site. It's important to remember that proper signaling and communication are key to avoiding accidents and ensuring the lift goes smoothly. The phrase, crane signals, really highlights the importance of standardized, understood gestures during operations. Overall, mastering these steps helps us maintain control, safety, and efficiency throughout the lifting process. All right, let's talk about the next step in our crane operations, jib down. When you hear jib down, it means we're lowering the jib to the desired position. This is a critical movement that needs to be done smoothly and carefully to ensure safety and precision. Next, we have crane signals. Clear communication through signals is essential when operating a crane. Whether it's the signal for jib down or any other command, these signals help coordinate the actions of the entire team. Remember, using standardized signals ensures everyone understands what's happening, reducing the risk of miscommunication. This is especially important in complex lifts or tight spaces. So, in summary, jib down is a key command for adjusting the jib, and proper crane signals are vital for safe, effective operations. These points are part of our overall focus on safety, communication, and precision in crane work. All right, let's talk about the next critical phase in crane movements: boom out and crane signals. When we extend the boom, it's essential to do it smoothly and precisely to maintain stability and control. This is where clear communication and proper signaling come into play. Crane signals are the language we use to coordinate movements safely, especially when the operator's view is limited or when multiple team members are involved. Proper signaling ensures everyone is on the same page, reducing the risk of accidents or miscommunication. The boom-out process is a key part of setting up the crane for lifting operations, and it must be done carefully, following the correct signals. These signals guide the operator to extend or retract the boom, and they serve as a vital link between the ground crew and the crane operator. Remember, safety and precision depend on clear, consistent signals. This step exemplifies how teamwork and communication are foundational to successful and safe crane operations, aligning with our overall goal of a safety-first approach in the field. Let's take a closer look at the boom in crane signals. When a crane operator receives a signal, it's essential that the communication is clear and unambiguous. This slide highlights the importance of proper signaling methods to ensure safety and efficiency on the construction site. The boom-in signal, for example, is a fundamental command that tells the operator to lower the boom. Understanding these signals is crucial because they serve as the language that keeps everyone on the same page. They help coordinate the movements of the crane with the actions of the ground crew, reducing the risk of accidents. Remember, consistent and correct signaling contributes significantly to the overall safety and smooth operation of any lifting activity. So, mastering these signals is not just about communication, it's about ensuring everyone's safety and the success of the project. Let's talk about the importance of using the main hook effectively. When you start a communication, whether it's a presentation or a conversation, grabbing attention right away is crucial. That's where the main hook comes in. It sets the tone and piques curiosity. Now, moving on to crane signals. Think of these as nonverbal cues or signals that help us communicate more effectively, especially in noisy or complex environments. They serve as a quick, clear way to convey messages without words, which can be vital for safety and efficiency. So the key points here are, first, making sure your main hook is strong enough to engage your audience from the get-go. And second, understanding and utilizing crane signals can streamline communication, reduce misunderstandings, and keep operations smooth and safe. All of this ties back to our overall theme of effective communication. Whether through captivating hooks or clear signals, the goal is to connect better and work more efficiently. Let's talk about the importance of using an auxiliary hook. This is a simple yet effective way to gain the crane operator's attention before signaling. It helps ensure that commands are clearly communicated and understood. Next, I'll explain the significance of crane signals themselves. These signals are the language of the crane and the ground crew working together. Proper signaling is critical for safety and efficiency on the site. When we discuss crane signals, we're emphasizing their role in coordinating movements precisely. Whether it's a stop, lift, or lower command, each signal must be clear and universally understood to prevent accidents. Overall, integrating the use of an auxiliary hook along with well-established signals forms a vital part of safe crane operation. It helps maintain smooth communication, minimizes risks, and keeps everyone on the same page during complex lifting operations. Now, let's talk about crane signals, which are essential for safe and efficient operation. When I say jib up, it means we're raising the jib to the desired height. This signal tells the crew to lift the jib smoothly and steadily. Next, hook down instructs the team to lower the hook into position, ensuring it's ready for lifting or positioning materials. Understanding these signals is crucial because they serve as a universal language on the construction site, helping us communicate clearly despite noise and distance. The key here is to remember that proper signaling keeps everyone safe and operations running smoothly. By mastering these signals, you're contributing to a safer, more coordinated working environment, something that ties into the overall theme of effective crane operation and site safety. Always ensure signals are clear, deliberate, and understood by everyone involved. Now, let's talk about the sequence of actions involved in safely controlling the crane during lifting operations. First, we have jib down. This is when we carefully lower the jib to the appropriate position for the lift. It's important to do this smoothly to maintain stability and control. Next is hook up, which involves attaching the load securely to the crane hook. Ensuring a proper connection here is critical for safety and efficiency. After the load is hooked up, the crane signals come into play. Clear and precise communication through signals is essential. These signals guide the crane operator on what actions to take next, whether it's lifting, lowering, or moving the load. They help coordinate the entire operation, prevent misunderstandings, and keep everyone safe. Connecting these points, it's all about maintaining control, ensuring safety, and effective communication throughout the lifting process. Whether we're lowering the jib, hooking up the load, or following signals, each step contributes to a smooth and secure lift, which is the core of safe crane operation. Let's talk about lifting and slinging, specifically the K012-020 SIN, as well as operating cranes in the K015-020 SIN category. When it comes to lift plans, it's crucial to remember that they are required for all lifts that exceed 75% of the crane's capacity. Additionally, if you're handling a two-crane lift or working near high-voltage equipment, a lift plan is mandatory. Now, these lift plans ensure safety and coordination, so always get them approved before proceeding. The approved lifting permit is valid for just one shift, so plan accordingly. The lifting crew plays a vital role in this process. They must be appointed, properly positioned, and certified as competent. It's essential they hold the relevant Singapore qualification or ticket. To easily identify the crew, they should wear distinctive gear, like colored helmets and fluorescent vests with their position clearly marked on the back. For example, the roles of lifting supervisor, rigger, signalman, or banksman should be easily recognizable on site. Lastly, regarding MCD requirements, always ensure they are followed diligently. These are key to maintaining standards and safety during lifting operations. Remember, thorough preparation and clear communication are the backbone of safe lifting practices.